so we have our big man. We have two big men on this platform. Kofi Koranteng he doesn't need any introduction. Kofi, and we have Mr. Henry, one of the big people we have on our platform.
Tyrus,
Kofi, we are happy to have you online.
Let me speak before Kofi speaks so that he can answer my questions, please.
Oh, okay. Kofi, please, is that okay with you?
Go ahead, big man. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Kofi, listen. You see, I know a lot of you are saying the youth is the problem. Kofi, the youth is not the problem. The youth need leadership. Okay, the youth are looking to you people like you yourself, Cheddar, new people with new ideas, and they need you people to come together to lead them. But at the moment, what you see, you are all fractured, and that is not helping the youth. Because you look at what happened. Gearing towards this election, the youth were fighting themselves. The youth were fighting themselves. They were all over. I sat down and I was sad. I look at what they were doing at TikTok. They were fighting themselves because we have fractions. But when you come together, okay, and you give the youth leadership, then they will follow. Because at the moment, yes, NDC MPP have captured the nation. And until you guys form political structures and then build up bases in communities, in constituents, and look for potential leaders to lead these communities and talk to them, you can come on air, you can go everywhere and tour the whole Ghana and just make noise and leave. Once you leave in Ghana, I told Cyrus something. Whatever you tell a Ghanaian, okay, most of them, it goes to the left ear and come out of the right ear until somebody is there to hammer it and hammer it and hammer it into their heads. You see, the NDC, the MP has been smart. They've done this for years. They've hammered their stories and their history into their people's head. Now people go and vote for MPP, NDC without even knowing their policies. And people who are voting don't even know what. I was in Ghana for 3 months. I was going around and I was asking people, why do you want to vote for Baumia? They'll tell you because he says it's possible. What is possible? They don't know what is possible. Ask that person to tell you one policy of MPP. He doesn't know. People were going to vote for NDC. Ask them, why are you going to vote for NDC? He doesn't know. Because Muhammad said 24-hour economy. What is 24-hour economy? He doesn't know. Ghanaians don't vote based on policies and on what you know. You need to make yourself available. If you guys want to lead, then you have to be aggressive. You need to start to form political structures and let's build the base, build the structures. Okay, you see, politics is like a Christmas tree. You need to build the base and build, and then you put the cherry on the top or the star on the top. But if you don't build, we are not going to go anywhere. We can sit on air and make noise and go about and do whatever we want to do until we build political structures and we merge ourselves together and put our forces together. We are not going anywhere. Kofi, that is my idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Kofi, you have the floor.
All right, Cyrus, my big man, you're looking good. 2025 is done good for you, man.
I shaved my beard, Kofi. I shaved off the beard.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
I want to look young.
So listen.
All right.
You don't need any effort on that. You're looking really good. So keep at it. Whatever you're doing, it's working. But Cyrus,
Sure.
what I'm gonna say is gonna ruffle feathers. And I need people to be really elevated in thinking because it's a multifaceted answer. And if you're not really very conscious, you will not understand. And I think for the most part, a lot of people in Ghana really don't even understand our problem. That's why people come up and they are outlandish in their remarks. I listen to people. A lot of people are really very ignorant about our situation. I'm being very honest. And that's not demeaning, that's a fact. You see, when somebody makes a statement, and this is not going at anyone, someone makes a statement, oh, um, Kofi, the youth needs leadership. It's not a youth problem. Let me give you the numbers so you can really understand. In the last election, we had the youngest candidate in Nana Bediako. We had a candidate who spent between 35 to 50 million. We had a candidate who had the best policies, the most ruthless of approaches, who was and came out with the absolute best formula to fix Ghana. And the youth did not budge. Nana Bediako got less than a percentage point. I got less than a percentage point, and it didn't make a difference to the youth. The youth did not budge. What that is telling me is the youth, if you're the youngest candidate, if you spend the most amount of money, if you have the best policies, it will not make a difference as far as the youth's perspective. It will not make a difference, okay? And that's a problem. The youth does not want that. That's not what the youth is looking for. So what is the youth looking for? I don't know. But now let me tell you what can make a difference. What could make a difference is if the youth, and this is why I say the youth is the problem, if the youth will come together and the youth will form a block, what I always talk about, and the youth will say, okay, let's all come together, 3 million, 4 million of us. Cyrus is our leader. He has a leadership team, he has an executive, he has a mastermind. The mastermind of the youth comes together and says, these are the 10 things we need. This is the criteria we have formed, that the next leader of Ghana ought to have these 10 things. Let's go out and look for these things in a leader that we want, and then put our 4 million, 5 million block behind that person. Then all of a sudden, a leader, whether they like it or not, erects himself. And they present themselves to the youth that, okay, I wasn't exactly like that, but if this is what you like, that I will be that so that I could get your vote. This is how power gets entrenched in the people.
Kofi, can I come in?
You can, hold on 1 second. You cannot sit down and say, oh, we need for all the independent candidates to come together and form an alliance. It will never work, because this is what you need to understand about the human psychology. Every leader who has built themselves thinks that they are the best. If you understand how psychology works, you know that in the leader's own mind, they think that they are the best, and they are right in thinking that. But this thinking that you are the best does not mean you could solve the problem of the people. It has to be from the perspective of the people. Who represents the people? The people who represents the people or makes the best cross-section of the people is the youth. So they are in the best position to pick the leader that they want, because it's their aspirations that needs to be met. They're the ones who are controlling the labor market of the whole world right now, the African youth. So if they cannot come together to formulate a leadership structure to pick the leader that they see in the future, a leader cannot form itself. Now, another thing. A lot of these
Kofi, can I come in before you
think,
go on to the another thing? Kofi, can I come in, please? Before you go to the other thing.
Go ahead.
Thank you for sharing this with us. But I have
I'm
to
not done.
be honest
I'm not
with
done.
you.
So I'm not done. So
No,
I really need to.
With the first
Go
part you
ahead.
just shared with us, I'm really
go
happy
ahead.
you shared it, but I honestly don't agree with you.
Okay.
I have to be frank with you.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about leadership with the youth, I don't believe the fact that the youth themselves will come together and then the youth themselves will have somebody emerge out of them, and then the person will fit into the kind of person the youth wants to lead, and then that will be how the leadership structure. No, I don't believe in that. What I think can happen, which I didn't see happen, is this. When you want to lead this youth, which we can have anybody who has ideas to lead them, you have to demonstrate to these youth on a level they can understand that you are different, and you are somebody they can trust and follow you. Let me give you an example. There are MPs in this country, members of parliament in this country, who became popular by way of being a movie actor and by way of being a farmer. So he is relatable with the people, whether being an actor or being a farmer. So at whatever level, he's able to relate with somebody. So when such a person says, I want to lead you people, the people find it easy to say, all right, yeah, you lead, you go ahead. When I look at all these candidates we had, Kofi Koranteng, Cheddar, we don't actually see where the people relate with you guys. And I'm being honest with you. If not last year, the only time I would have seen Kofi Koranteng was on Onuya TV with Captain Smart. Apart from seeing Kofi Koranteng on Onuya TV with Captain Smart, I never heard of Kofi Koranteng, and I would have never seen Kofi Koranteng. So if you ask me to follow such a person, I really don't have anything to hold on to or to look up to and say, okay, I can relate with this guy on this level, and I know he's for the youth, so I can follow him. If we can have one of you guys be in an industry, whether in agriculture, whether in a constituency, whatever the case may be, where the people who work with you or the people who work for you know you on that level and say, no, we even want this man to be an MP. We even want this man to run for this office. At that point, you are relatable, Kofi. As it stands now, if this same practice continues and Cheddar continues to be Cheddar and live that kind of lifestyle, and we see him on TV doing big things for himself and riding in big cars, and we see Kofi Koranteng on social media and television, and we don't get to meet you on any level that we can relate with, I can promise you this. When we go into the next election, no matter how solid your policies may be, we don't know you. The people wouldn't know you. So I don't believe the people will have to come together themselves. There is no point where the people themselves will want to come together. Somebody must ignite that movement. Somebody must wake up and say, listen, it doesn't have to be so many people. It starts so small, maybe 20 people in a community. And they say, listen, let's try to do this. Let's make some noise on this issue. And then the person starts making noise on that issue. And then from there, it starts to grow. Those are things people can relate with. And people come in, they join that group because friends are involved. And so this guy has friends, this guy has friends, friends knows friends in that group, and it continues to expand. But if we have to wait for the youth themselves to put themselves together and not somebody leading them and showing up on the stage and galvanizing all of them around him, Kofi, this your methodology, I suspect, will take a very long time, and it may never happen in Ghana. Michael Dawson, before you come in, please hold on. Mike, I will let you come in. But before you hold on, I want Kofi to respond to this, and then I'll come back to you. Please bear with me. Thank you so much. Kofi, back to you.
Yes, Cyrus, a couple of things. You hit on a couple of things that I want to address. First of all, you see, this is the typical African way of thinking, and it doesn't work. A typical black mind way of thinking. And let me tell you why it doesn't work. Because we have seen the result of what you are saying. The people who came and showed us the farms and showed us their accolades and what they had done, what have they been able to do in the 68 years of Ghana? Tell me. We've gone backwards. So that doesn't mean anything. In the world we live in today, and this is why I go to the youth, You see, if I come in today and I wanted to build a supercomputer that NVIDIA has put out, a chip that NVIDIA has put out, I will copy NVIDIA because they are the best in the field of microchips right now as we speak in the world. So I haven't done it before, but if I want to do it, I compare it with a person who's done it the best. So I could have a template. Now, we want the best leadership structure in Ghana. We have never had it. So we have to look at the template of the person who's done it and how they did it. If you take a look at how the last Singapore leader was picked, they didn't go back to take a look at how many farms he had built and how long he'd been in public service and all of that. They looked at certain criteria that we can look at today based on what the person says and how you can hold the person accountable, and to have a structure that if he's not able to deliver, you can eject him and bring somebody else new in. That's smart, because you can really never know. Look at what Trump promised and look at what is going on. Look at what Obama promised and look at what went on. So you can never really go by what a person says, regardless of what they show. We know that. So what we have to have in place is to have something in place. To have something in place where if we elect someone and they are not able to perform, we could take them off and bring somebody in. That's smart. That's prudence. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You see? So this formula, wait, relax. Listen, your formula, I'm telling you, your formula, we've seen it. It's not like we haven't seen it. Everything I'm telling you.
We've never seen it. We have never seen it.
Listen,
we have never seen it in Ghana.
No, Tuntum, Cyrus, you telling me that for somebody to follow me, I have to be able to show them that I've been able to put together a farm.
No, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I said you have to come to the point where you are relatable to the people. That is not the same as showing them what you have done.
This is what I'm saying.
You are confusing the two.
No, Cyrus. What is being relatable? And this is how.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of being relatable. I can give you an example.
Wait a minute.
I can use one person to give you an example.
Cyrus, don't talk too much. Listen, let me tell you. You see, the black man.
Kofi, I can give you an example. I can give you plethora of examples. Let me give you an example.
Listen, I know
you go to South Africa right now. Kofi, and I'm not cutting you short. You go to South Africa right now. The one reason why Julius Malema has about 44 seats in parliament, the one reason is because the people can relate with Julius. How? How could the people relate? Julius Malema was part of the ANC party. He was the youth wing leader. And then he branches off, he starts his party. The people know him. And then they are like, okay, this is the new ideas he's pushing. And I can give you John Dumelo.
I know you are right. You are right.
Dumelo is an actor. He's relatable on a certain level. He starts farming. I know, the community gets to know him.
He is Cyrus. Just because he's relatable doesn't mean that somebody cannot do better than him. That's the point that I'm making.
No, you need to get the people's trust. It's not about performance at that point. It's about the youth's trust. It's not about performance at that point. You are confusing two things.
I'm not.
Performance will come when you are given the position, but the trust of the youth to say they know you. That is totally, and that comes before the performance.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative? The alternative. The point I'm making is a common sense argument that I'm making. That listen, you know somebody who has let you down. You know somebody who you voted them out because of a non-performance. You know that they stole your money and you voted them out. And you brought somebody else in who you thought were going to be honest with you, and they did worse. The answer to that is not to go back to the person you know stole your money. That's dumb. That's the point.
That is common sense, Kofi.
Absolutely.
No. Kofi, what you said is common sense. But that is not what is working in Ghana.
But this is what I'm saying. So
now,
if you
and that is my response to you. Kofi,
no, no,
Kofi,
no. Listen to
what
me.
you are
Listen.
saying is common
If,
sense. You don't go back to the person who has disappointed you and
this is
another
what I'm
person
saying.
disappoints you altogether. But what I'm
So
saying
if
is the fact that somebody disappointed you and the other person also disappointed you doesn't automatically qualify a new person to be
I
trustable. That is what
absolutely
I'm saying.
believe that. No, and you agree
So
with
what
you.
I'm
Look,
saying
what
is,
I'm saying is,
yes. So
what
what
is
I'm
your
saying
option?
is
You don't have an
this.
option. The option
There is an
is you
option.
could go.
There is
No,
an option, and you don't
but
want to hear it. I want to tell you the option.
what is the option?
Good, Michael.
The
Please,
option.
1 second. I'll wrap up now, and then Mike, you come in. This is the this is the option I'm proposing, Kofi. You see, Kofi Koranteng and Nana Kwame Diako. I said this until 2024, Kofi. I really didn't listen to Kofi Koranteng until 2024. And so it's for so many people. What I felt, what I thought I knew about Kofi Koranteng, or what I didn't know about Kofi Koranteng, was similar to so many people, and not just me. So if Kofi Koranteng has to become somebody I can relate with, how is that going to happen? First of all, he must be known, not because you are doing so well, but you must be known on a certain level, whether in an industry, number one, whatever industry Kofi Koranteng will have to get himself involved in an industry, number one, whether in a community, number two, or whether in some form of political whatever. But there are three options here. In some community, whether in some, what did I say first? Political grouping or something. Kofi Koranteng must find a way to let the people he wants them to vote him in be relatable to him at some level, or else they will always see you very far away and they may like your policies, but there is nothing to relate with you about, and so it will be very
And
difficult for them to say,
I
let me vote for
understand.
him.
Cyrus, I totally understand you, but this is the scenario that I'm presenting. My background is in engineering, so I'm very pragmatic in my analogy. So let me give you the example and why I'm saying that. Cyrus, our country is in crisis. We know what
I
these
agree
two
with you on
people
that.
have. We know what these two people have done for us in the last 32 years. And we know it's a game that they are playing with us. We know it's a game. Okay? If you haven't grown up to come to that realization, then you are just naive or you're not paying attention. It's a fact. It's a game. They will keep stealing. They will keep and do a dance about the game, and they will come and go, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So my point is, why do you want to buy into that? And it doesn't even have to be Kofi Koranteng, but the options they're giving. So let's take it one by one so I could prove a point to you. When you say Kofi Koranteng, you have to be relatable. You have to do some things and go around and do this. You give me an example. Oh, maybe you need to start a farm. Oh, maybe you need to be around.
Can I
The
give you a good
point that I'm
example?
making, the point that I'm making, Cyrus, is it's not that I don't believe or I don't accept what you're saying. My point that I'm making is we are in
Kofi
crisis
Koranteng,
and we don't have
Kofi
the
Koranteng,
time.
Kofi
So
Koranteng.
it doesn't even have to be Kofi
Can,
Koranteng.
can I suggest this to you? If I am in your shoes, this is one thing I may even consider doing. I wouldn't mind consider being on the screen in a movie. I'm telling you, I want to be in a movie on the screen, in a comedy movie on the screen. I want to be in a movie, whether with Aka Beneza or whatever his name is, or Little Wayne, that guy. Somehow, some way, I want to be on the screen in a movie, or I want to be in a football game. Somehow, some way, I have to be in that football game. I have to be in somewhere, maybe construction, something. Something must put Kofi Koranteng in a position
Cyrus,
where they
but
see Kofi
Cyrus, what?
Koranteng relate
But
with
let me tell you,
people.
Cyrus, what you
Kofi,
don't do
Kofi, I'm
is
looking at Trump. I'm looking at Trump. I'm looking at the trajectory of Trump. And I see Trump almost in everything. So everywhere you turn, even if you don't like the guy, he's in the movies, he's in the reality shows, he is in whatever, all over the place, so that people get to know What are Kofi Koranteng's tendencies? What does he actually? Who is he?
See,
You
okay,
understand?
so a couple of things you don't understand about my argument. My argument is first of all, no, Cyrus, listen to me. If you listen thoroughly, you will understand. Number one, I am doing those things. It's not maybe on the scale that you will see me on every skit in the country, but I am doing these things to the best of my ability. But what I want everybody to understand is I am not going to go and put myself in some huge liability just because I want to be popular for the youth. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that would mean going outside of my zone. You see, doing
You
these
have
things.
to.
Listen to me.
You
Yeah.
have
But
to. Kofi, you
I
have to go
don't have
outside
to.
of your zone. If you
And
don't
you
want to
see,
go outside of your
It's
zone,
like
then
no,
politics may not be for you.
Yeah, but you see, but this is where you don't understand because you see, you don't understand the game that is being played. Cyrus, you don't understand. Let me run it by you again, and I'll stop. Cyrus, what I want to communicate to the youth is, I want the youth to understand and accept that they are going to be bequeathed the worst economy ever, and it's them that are going to suffer more than anybody else in the history of Ghana. Do you accept that? Do you agree with me on that?
The youth don't care about that.
Okay, good. Well, so good. So that's the basis. If the youth don't care, then I guess they're gonna suffer. But the flip side of that I want to make sure to you is, Kofi Koranteng, I'm not here to want to be a president. I here to want to just help my people out of love. Do you see what I'm saying? This is not a career gig for me. I relinquished my citizenship to come to just help the people that I love. This is not a desperation mode for me that Kofi Koranteng has to be a president. No, I want to listen. I am sacrificing myself. That youth use me, and if there's something you could get out of me, use me and get something out of it. If you cannot get anything out of it, then I guess it's too bad. You see what I'm saying? I'm not on a
I get
career.
what you're saying. I understand you fully what you're saying, but I would never agree with what you're saying because per what you're saying, you are not willing to go overboard in order for
No,
you to
no,
become
no, no, no,
president.
no, no.
You
It's
just
not
want to
willing to
fit
go.
into
No,
your.
no, 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 no. What
Kofi,
I'm saying is, Cyrus, you see, when we did the analysis,
Kofi,
I really
at some point,
hold on one
Kofi, at
second.
some point.
Relax. Let me make this point, and you can. At,
Cyrus.
Cyrus, when we did the analysis, with everything that you're saying, if you need to be here, go here. When the team and I sat down and we did the analysis, I needed in excess of $50 million to come through and be seen everywhere and show up. Oh, na me kwe ye, me kwa na. Oh yes, Kofi Koranteng about one swan. Then I give 5,000 so that my name will be heard and everybody will know. We no be one swan. I go here. I travel around. They set me up for a lot of funerals, a lot of gigs. I'm buying soccer balls. I'm going to soccer programs. So I did a lot of those things. But guess what? Most people did not even hear about it because of the financial commitment involved in that. A lot of people.
Hello, Kofi. Hello, Kofi. Are you still there?
To come together to save the youth, then the plan has to be something other than something that requires money. Because if we play the money game, we will not win. MPP and DC will
Kofi, there
always
is
kick our
nothing I
ass.
said that has to do with money. Kofi, you are not
Well,
listening to me.
I'm telling
What
you,
I
it has
said
to do
has
with
no.
money. I am
No,
telling you, it has
Kofi,
to do with money.
Kofi. No, it doesn't. If I am working with Kofi Koranteng, there is nothing I'm talking about that needs so much money. What I'm saying with you is very simple, Kofi. There are so many ways to put yourself in a position where a lot of Ghanaians will get to see you, get to relate with you. And I just mentioned one to you. One is to get on the screen with actors and actresses, so Ghanaians can see Kofi Koranteng act for just 10 seconds in a movie. 10 seconds in a movie, that's all. He passed through the movie, and most of these guys who are shooting these movies, they would love to have you on. They would love to have a person like Kofi Koranteng show up in the movie like 5 seconds and say something, and then he goes. That is not money, Kofi. That is not money. I can give you a plethora of them. But
you think Cheddar did not do that? You think Cheddar did not do that?
Let me Cheddar, we see him we see Cheddar in a different world in Ghana. Cheddar is not relatable. Cheddar is seen as the guy who is successful and living up there with the top 1% of Ghana's the rich people, the top 1%. Most people aspire to be like him, but they cannot relate with him. That is why the people didn't come out to vote for him. If Cheddar will have to do something different, he will have to come way down and now get into some of these things I'm suggesting to you. I'm just suggesting them. Get into some of these things. There is a game going on, and Cheddar is there, and Cheddar is just watching from the side, and people get to see him. It's not a big game. I mean a regular game, and you are there and you are just kicking it with the people. Kicking it with the people. There are so many ways you could have put yourself, and you can still do it, which doesn't require so much money from you, Kofi.
Cyrus, I did. Ask the
and
team.
The time was short.
Did.
And the time was short. But now we have 4 years. The time was short. Now we have 4 years. We can run it back. And this time we do it even more broadly, and we get into every space that we can, so that Kofi Koranteng is not seen as the guy on TV. Oh, but I met him the other day around the corner. This is how it feels like to talk with Kofi. Then people get to associate with you. Kofi.
But Cyrus, the other side of the equation that is even more important is the part that the youth have got to form a block. Because you see, I don't think the youth has a block. And if you don't have a block and you don't have a leadership where one person or a leadership group could say, we are putting all our support behind this one person, then it could be a dispersed energy, and at the end, nobody gets anywhere. And this is what we saw in the 2024 election. So I think, yes, well taken with your point. But on the other side of the equation, I think the youth has got to form a block with one leadership, so that we could say we have 2 million, we have 3 million, we have 4 million people who are going to decide on the candidate they put their support behind. Do you accept that? You see, if you don't accept that, then boy, this is a game, man. It's not gonna, because listen, Kofi Koranteng could go and do everything you say, Cyrus. Kofi Koranteng could.
Kofi, I think we live on two polar sides.
Kofi Koranteng can do everything you say, Cyrus. We're doing.
Somebody is just calling me in the show. I don't know what he's looking for.
Okay, Cyrus is up. Cyrus, somebody really wants your attention.
I don't know. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I don't know what this guy is looking for, but
Cyrus,
sorry.
Listen, no. But Cyrus, what I'm saying is yes, your point is taken, and we're doing it. We're doing it, Cyrus. We're doing it. We're going to places as best as we can. We're going to places. We're showing up. But there's so many things we get. Listen, you know how many invitations I get every week? I get like 50 invitations every week, right? We get a lot of invitations to go a lot of places. So we're doing it. But what I'm saying is that the youth has got to form a block, so that when they all decide they're going to go with one person, it has an impact. A quarter cannot go with Kofi. A quarter cannot go with Cheddar. A quarter cannot go with CPP. A quarter, it can't be that, because that is what happened in the 2024 election. We all, if you don't have one voice, it's not going to work. The youth has got to have one voice. So that's the point. So I would do my part, but the youth has got to do their part. And this is what I'm saying, that it is more a powerful movement when the youth come out in search of a leader than if the leader were to define themselves and hope that the bunch of youth come and support. It's more powerful the other way around because you could command what you want as a youth.
Kofi, let me allow Michael Dawson to ask you I think he has a question or suggestion.
Sure.
Dawson, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Mr. Koranteng, you
Kofi?
made okay, Mr. Kofi. You made two statements that caught my attention. First of all, during your submission, you made a point that you can't put yourself, or you can't go way beyond, or to put yourself in a liability, just you use the word, just because you want to be a president. Number one. Number two, you use um Trump tactical game of winning election. But one thing I want us to understand, say Trump, let me talk about Trump issue. Trump winning the election, we saw what went into it and who supported him and who is now in the White House, which is Elon Musk. We shouldn't forget that. And we know the number of billion that guy put into the campaign or the election. Number two, Trump played the race card. Number three, Trump also played, I don't want to use the name because we are on air, whether the rainbow colored game, which some Christians voted for him because of the rainbow colored game. So Trump used all these things to come into power, despite he being convicted of 34 counts of felonies. They voted for him. Now, talking about cheddar, Mr. Kofi, if not for Onuya TV, honestly speaking, Kamine, time now, the time I saw you on Onuya TV and the time of election were close. That was when you used to sit with Captain Smart, talk about the economy and everything. It was close. We were even, I think, 2 years or 3 years close to the election. With cheddar, unless someone, I start to be corrected. Someone would say he's now into farming. But please, you see, when we keep talking about the youth, some of the youth are voting for these parties because number one, aside they be loyal to the parties, this NPP, NDC, is because they need a job. NPP came to power and some youth, not all of them, some youth has gotten a job. NDC came to power, some youth got a job. By being a political party, I don't know how many, and I'm not asking anybody, but I don't know how many companies or institutions that Cheddar has established. I don't know. I might be wrong because Bichiro say he's now into farming. It's like what Tuntum is trying to say. We are not getting him. When it comes to Cheddar, he has put himself in a position where the people cannot. They only see him, but they can't relate to him. We see him, we can't relate to him. The fact that he has money, he has been successful, or he has acquired whatever he has got, does not guarantee us say when he becomes a president, every youth will get a job to do. Show me the little thing you are doing in your corner. Show me how you are relating to the people before I give you that seat. Tell me how close I can get to you before I give you that seat. You understand? Now, when it comes to Mr. Kranti, let's be fair and frankly speaking, politics involve money. And just like Mr. Kranti said, it involves money, it involves people. If we are not ready to go way beyond our strength, our capacity, we should forget the seat. Because there are sacrifices that we will make that we are not ready to. If we are not ready to make that sacrifice or do that sacrifices, we will never get close to the seat. Talking about Cheddar, after election, where's Cheddar now? After election, where's Cheddar now? Are we now going to sit down and then the 2 years to election, 1 year to election, he pops out again? Even if he is doing something, the rate at which we will see him on social media, on TV, visiting, the kings, the queens, the chiefs here and there. Are we seeing it now, or is it few years to election then he pops up again? So I think if we need a third force, or we want to kick NPP, NDC out, we should give the youth enough reason. And that was Tuntum is saying, give us a reason. Because how do we know if we give you the seat, you also not become like them? Everybody has a message. Everybody carry their own message. All
But
the
you see,
political.
this is where you don't get it. It's not about somebody giving the youth a reason for the youth to vote for them. I am talking about empowering the youth for
How
them
did we
to be.
empower the youth?
Listen,
So
listen,
far,
listen to me,
Mr. Matthew, a
listen to
question.
me, listen to me,
I'm
listen.
asking a question, please. Just a question for you. A question
So,
for
but
you.
this is what I'm saying is, the youth has to be empowered so that they themselves become the leaders that they
All
want.
right, a question for you, please. Okay. How do
Dawson,
we
Dawson, this
empower
will be
the
your
youth?
last question, please. This is your
How
last
do we
question,
empower
please.
the youth? And how have we been able to empower the youth? Can you please tell how, number one, how do we empower the youth? How have
Okay,
we been able to empower the youth? Thank you.
but this okay.
Thank
So
you
the
very much,
first thing that I'm
Dawson.
so the first thing I'm saying, Dawson, is the youth would have to come together. They have to have one leadership. If you come together and you say, okay, 1,000 of us come together on Tuntum's network, and we're going to use Cyrus to be our leader for now. Cyrus gets picked as a leader, and then maybe you go to 2,000, 10,000 people, 5,000 people. You come together and you put together a board, a leadership team. You see, maybe it's because Cyrus is a social media influencer, he will get all the other social media influencers to come together to say that right now we are going to form a leadership team and we are going to pick our leader. You see, when you look at
Kofi, that
Kofi,
part I will never agree with you on that. I don't know why you keep stressing on this. It's not going to work. It's not feasible,
why
Kofi.
do you think why do you think it's not going to work?
There is never going to be a time when the youth themselves will come together and form a block. Somebody must start it. Somebody must say, listen, I have two
So
guys.
why
I
don't
want
you
to
start?
work with
Why don't
you.
you start it?
Hold,
Why don't you
hold
start it?
on. I don't have any presidential ambition at this point. I
No,
don't have
but
a
you don't have
presidential
to be
ambition.
you don't have to be the president.
Hold
You
on.
could start it. You could form a
What I'm
leadership
saying
team.
is, I can, and I have a platform. So what I'm saying, I can use my platform to say, this is
Good,
what I
do it.
have. And the next thing you see me, I may want to do a conference and invite all the people on my platform to say, come, let's sit
Uh-huh.
down and have a conversation. It
That's
is
what I'm
not going to
talking
be
about.
my platform followers. It is not going to be my platform followers who would want to come together and then tell me to lead them. No, I will have to take that initiative. That is the point where me and you vary. You are looking at the youth coming together to form a block. I am saying it will never happen. Somebody must rise up and say, I will start something, even if I have only two people following me
No,
at
but
that
this is
point.
what I'm
And
saying. So
eventually that thing
Tuntum,
grows up.
I'm saying that because you have a platform, why don't you start it? You
And I
start
just
it
tell,
now. Not that not that you want
I
to be
just
the
told,
president. Not that you want to be president, but you just want to formulate the initial formation. So you could come together
that
and
is
say
not my
you could.
interest, Kofi. Kofi, that is not my interest at this point. If that is my interest, you see me do it. I'm a doer. I'm a
So
go-getter.
what? So
I
what
will
I'm
just
saying
get
is,
into it.
so Tuntum, why don't you put it out there that somebody who has an interest in formulating a leadership team in the youth, come talk to me.
Why are you trying to say this to me when at this point you have run for president and we have
It's
to give
got
you all the advice we can?
no. You see, you don't get it. You don't get it.
If I am in your position, I will want to hear people's opinions. But it looks like you are in that position. You rather want the opinions to go to the people. You go try it out and see.
No, no,
It
no,
doesn't work
no,
like
no,
this,
no,
Kofi.
no, 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 no. You
If
don't.
I want
You
to
see,
do
you
it,
don't
if
get
I
it.
want
You
to do
don't
it,
get it.
if no, I get it totally clearly. If I want to do
Listen,
it, I wouldn't need anybody to tell me to go get it. What I'll
no,
do
but
is I know I
listen.
have a platform, so I invite other people to join me. Let's have a discussion. From that discussion, something comes up. I say, okay, let's try to work together on this particular project. And from there, we grow it. And I started this before. So it is not something that we cannot do. But what we are saying to you is, Kofi, there is so much you can do without needing money. And I just gave you like two of them. And you don't
I
need
am doing.
money.
Yeah, but Cyrus, we are doing it already, and we listen. The impact is what you saw in the 2024 election. Not much. You see what I'm saying? Because listen, all the things that you're saying when you live in Ghana, as I do, you have to power it with a lot of money. Everybody who follows you to go do something, Cyrus, they want money. Because they listen, it's a very tight society where people are people can't have ends meet. So listen, you have anybody do anything for you that you need to feed them. It's very expensive. So listen, if you have 10 people follow you to a gig, you have to give them breakfast, you have to give them lunch, and then you have to give them money to go home when you're done. And then they will come and very nicely ask you if you want them to come tomorrow. When they come in tomorrow, you have to pay for all of them to come, and you feed them again. So if I get 7 people to follow me around for 2 weeks, I'm talking about 8,000 cities, 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying?
Now
So what?
that is what I do in the studio. When you came to the studio, you saw a couple of guys with me. These are people who
Yeah,
are my payroll. I have to pay them. And it's
yeah,
the same thing. If people are coming with you, they are working for you, you have to pay them. And if you are going to be a leader, you should know all these things and you have to know how to deal with them. You must know that people are going to work with you and you must find the ways to pay them. This is typical of every leadership. Kofi, it's not just for Kofi Koranteng. Anybody who puts himself in the position of leadership will meet these things. So you have to find a way, figure out a way to deal with these things and then get over that hump. If you don't get over this hump and this small problem becomes a hindrance to you, then the bigger problems, you cannot deal with them. You cannot deal with them because these are smaller problems. The big fishes are there for you to fry, Kofi. So working with these people, moving with these people, eating with these people, these are the most basic things you are going to do. And nothing is
yeah.
going to change, not for you and not for me.
Well, but you see, but this is what I'm saying, that there is a more strategic economic way to do this if we have the youth involved, and nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to point a finger to, oh, Kofi Koranteng, you're the candidate, so you should do this, you should do this. And I'm telling you that there is a smarter, better, strategic, effective way to do this, and nobody wants to listen. The youth that we are here to represent have to get involved in this, solving this problem. I did not come in that I want to be a president, so I have to go and find money, 50 million, $100 million to come be a president. That's not what this is about. This is about affecting the youth to be proactive if they will listen. But they don't want to listen. They want to point a finger and say, oh, Kofi, when episode the president, president. And I'm telling them they'll know.
Kofi,
And yes, sir.
Kofi, the youth are never going to listen because the youth, first of all, most of them don't think they are in the kind of problems they are in, like the way you see them. This is what the youth are looking for. If they can go about their personal business, if they can buy food in the morning, afternoon, and evening and eat, if they can have some money in their pocket, even if it's by playing sports betting, for some youth, that is just enough. It is you who is the leader, who is looking at all these things that youth are going through and saying, that is problematic. But the people themselves may not see it as a problem. And that is where the disparity is. There are a lot of things you see as a problem to the youth, which the youth themselves don't see as a problem. And if you don't see the difference, it will be very difficult for you.
Now, we have problem now. And then now, it's a waste of time. Because the background will package at the end of the man of grandpa, or no feel said, men are maybe what problem. So, indeed, and no, now maybe per se, the new realization is a youth who said,
Kofi, are you with me or are you speaking elsewhere?
Oh, can you not hear me? Can you not hear me?
Oh,
I was
okay.
speaking.
I can hear you.
Can you not
Okay.
hear me? Say, Cyrus, me say the first thing about helping someone or solving a problem is say nipa na wo pese wo boa no no ono no mfili say ohia mmoa ene na wo ye ni na useless because ono no mfili say ohia mmoa say you no entia eno ase a I can't do anything. I can spend my wheels.
Then I guess there is not much you can do because when Nkrumah came on the scene, I'll give you a clear picture. When Nkrumah came on the scene, the people didn't even know the problem they were in, apart from coming out of colonial rule. The people really didn't understand what was going on. It was Nkrumah who went around, showed himself to the people, introduced himself, and tell them what the problem is, what he can do for them, before the people realize, oh, we actually need this man to lead us. if there is not a point where you want to let the people be aware of their circumstance, most of these people are uneducated. They may not even know that is a problem. When you look from the top and see that Ghana owes so much, they may not care about how much Ghana owes. All they care about is get their data, get their lunch, and be able to have electricity. That's all. Sometimes you have to let them see the bigger picture, and then because of the need, they put you up there.
Cyrus,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, boss.
Let's say,
Yes.
I've come around all the 16 regions. Madam Krasi, Mada Patem, Mada.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. You are not the only. You are not the first to do it. Let's do it again. For the next 4 years, you have to do it again.
See, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it again, but more importantly, as I said, one more year out here, I'm going to realize it's their time and they need their own involvement in the process. They can't be bystanders looking on you, say, oh, Baba, to seek one more sweat feed, one more musica, or be back there. You do, baby, you'll be some man toko come on home, but trust in the America. This is my toko come on, be out to meet pie. That's all my métier. So, it's sometimes, I hope you won't say, if I could now put up one on your ready, so you could go ahead.
Did you say I can go ahead?
No. I was speaking to someone.
Okay.
On your radio, what to me, Bibiamo, and when I may patch say, youth now, one year enlightened, now, ye hear woman. As I said, one more back together and one more castle, one more ready set, one more in the process. So one more change. Because listen, look.
Kofi, on this one, we'll never agree.
Okay, and I
on this one, we wouldn't agree.
And I'm saying, and then the people are not ready because Cheddar spent $35 to $50 million. When I make catch up.
But I just told you what happened with Cheddar. I just told you why the people didn't see Cheddar because he's not relatable.
Okay, good. And I mean, so I'm relatable. The most minisca.
No, you were not seen. No, you were not seen. You were not known.
And I may say, Cyrus, places a nipa koye.
Kofi, remember, this is the first time people actually became serious with these elections.
I'm not saying.
And first times you don't expect to win. You may have to go 3 times or 4.
I know that.
All these things must be factored into it. So
yeah, but I'm not. Listen, I don't have the money to be putting myself out 4 times, Cheddar. I mean, Cyrus, are you serious? 4 times is 16 years. I you small boy to say. Wow, we are small boy crying out to 1% of Koro. When I say, I'm support so small baby. Now on starting because listen, I have a very active lifestyle. I want to be very active as a president. I don't want to be a sluggish old your friend saying president. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring some serious action into the presidency, and I'm not going to do it 16 years from now. I'll be in my 70s. Come on, man, it's not going to work. No.
I got you.
Listen, if Ghana said they were gonna hand me the presidency on my 70th birthday, I would decline.
Really?
I would decline.
Really?
I would. Oh yeah, I would not, because listen, I wanna project the youth as the new face of Ghana. Say woman run of things. Listen. Me cry out to tell the truth, Cyrus. I hate to say it here, but I wasn't planning on doing 8 years. I was planning on doing 4 and hand over to a younger person. To be honest.
I see.
Yeah. That's the plan. Because I want a young.
So meaning that in 2028, if you run again and you don't win, you will not run again, correct?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Like, I'll be honest with you. That's the changing game now.
I mean, I like your honesty. For that, I can be confident in. I like your honesty, and you're being forthright with us. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I'll be very honest with you. And even 2028 in the cry dream home because he can't share any hosa. But Obi Obeka so be biana ye bebuano.
Uh,
Obi Obeka so be
wow.
biana ye bebuano. Yeah, yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
yeah.
ask you. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you before you go.
Yeah.
Do you regret running last year?
No, absolutely not. No regrets. I don't pay crew be free me beside me. No regrets at all. If I had to do it, I'll do it all over again. Renounce my citizenship. And the kind of headache that I'm dealing with now with this citizenship I'm renouncing it, you wouldn't even believe it. But I would do it again if I had to, because I love my people, man. I won't lie to you. That nobody could take. I love my people. I love Ghana, and I want Ghana. I think Ghana is positioned to be the best nation in the world. I
Mm.
wanted to build Ghana like beyond Dubai. That's why I went over. I traveled all over the world, met with all the leaders. So we knew exactly what we were going to do. And it's not difficult to fix Ghana. It's not difficult. It's very, very easy to fix Ghana. But we think, when I listen to programs, I get sad because everybody thinks it's something else. Everybody comes out with a different formula. There's no formula. We just need to change leadership. That's all. If you change leadership, everything changes.
We
You know,
got you.
the
We got
clowning
you.
is
Thank you
too
so
much,
much,
man.
Kofi.
Yeah. So
Thank you
I'm
so
I'm
much.
listening in the back, and we'll talk
All
soon.
right.
Okay, big man. Thank you.
It's always a privilege to have you come on live, Kofi. Thank you so much for making time for us.